What's up, guys? As you can see, I'm doing a reaction video right now. Now, this is my friend who I went to China with, Ken, and he dropped an amazing video. I'm gonna leave it down in the link below. Check it out. Even Allchinabuy, they plugged it. But yeah, this was just amazing video. Let's start off. The trip was probably 15 days. It was one of the best trips I ever had. So let's just watch the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, how the did I end up in China at the Allchinabuy headquarters? Even I don't know, but for real, this video is gonna be crazy. So grab your food, and without any further ado, let me tell you boys how I ended up in China meeting with the CEO of Allchinabuy. Alright, now this trip started probably like 2 or 3 weeks before we left. When I was talking to a friend of mine who happens to be the first promoter that ACB ever worked with, you might know.
That's me, Yves, right here. First AC buy a promoter ever. It always pays to be first at everything. Every opportunity you have in your life, be the first to go out there.
Know him. A lot of people in my Discord are also in his Discord, Yves Creed. And I was talking to him, and we were planning to go to China for a completely different reason. But then we're like, you know what? We should ask ACB if they'll let us pull up to their warehouse. We hit up ACB.
So how I know Ken actually, me and Ken have known each other for like a couple years now. He's my brother's friend, and he started doing some content too. And big, you can see from this video, this guy has a bunch of potential. Subscribe to him. I think he's one of the most upcoming creators. He's gonna be at that Cedas level soon. I believe it.
And they're like, warehouse, we'll see about that. But you guys can pull up to the office. Hopefully next time we pull up, we can go check out one of the warehouses. They actually just upgraded. They have a second and a third warehouse coming. And every ACB user knows that ACB is already hella fast, so they're only gonna get faster. So once we got the green light, we were getting ready.
Except right now is a Canada post strike, so it's not fast at all.
To go figuring out the visa situation, figuring out the flights, and I don't know what type of magic Yves did, but Allchinabuy was like, yo, we'll cover some of your expenses while you're in China. So you already know. Shout out to all.
Yeah, shout out to Allchinabuy. They covered a bunch of our expenses. While we were there, we were staying in the Grand Royal Hyatt. I'm gonna show that up on the screen. Staying in like the Royal Garden and like some of the best hotels I've ever been to in my life. And they covered our flights. They covered a lot of our costs, 90% of our costs there. We actually had so much fun there. Best trip ever.
Allchinabuy. And if you're not already using Allchinabuy, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Links will be in the description. Make sure to go and check them out. Now at this point, this shit does not feel real in my head, bro. Like in my head, this is still a dream trip that I'm planning for like a year from now or something. But all of a sudden, this shit got so real. Had to book the flights, get the visas together. All right, so the day of the trip comes.
So the visas were actually pretty light. I'd say I got a 9-year visa with them. I'm really blessed to get that, but uh, I thought it would have been, there would have been an interview or some shit like that. But yeah, Canadian passport is really strong, so that's why we got it easy.
It's a 22nd, and bro, I hate morning flights. If you know me, every single time it's a morning flight, I'm at the airport like 4 a.m. I'm 1 HP, bro. But nevertheless, got to the airport, hopped on the flight, went over to Detroit, hopped on the flight over to Shanghai.
Now the airport at Detroit was like really nice, better than Toronto. Like, what the hell is Toronto and Canada doing? Detroit has a better airport than yours, but Detroit has like that. It's considered one of the best airports in North America, which surprises me. But we had to go first from Toronto to Detroit, and some of these shots are kind of messed up because his editor didn't know which plane, but the seats were actually blue. Delta is in red.
And that's when shit started getting crazy. Alright, so we get to the airport type shit, get our bags, wait.
Yeah, this is us getting past the security. So they have like a bunch of scanners back there, and a lot of these scanners, all you do is put your passport and you scan your fingerprints. You did before you got your visa, so this is a really nice and fast. The time that it took the most time for us in a line was actually in Toronto. Toronto, us waiting for U.S. Customs took 1.5 hours for some reason. These U.S. I have a different story for this, but I'm gonna say, in this video, let me give the whole like trip and everything. But these U.S. Customs officers are absolutely hating their job so much that this one guy was just leaving to the washroom like 4 or 5 times, and I couldn't understand, like, why would you do this job if you don't want to work there? And that's the difference. Like in China, you never see that. If somebody doesn't want to work their job, they're fired. But in Canada and USA, we give so many entitled people jobs, and they just like sit there and do nothing. That's how the country's run. it's slow as.
through all the lines, all the security and whatever. And now we're about to meet our managers for the first time. First time we met.
So at this point, we already met our managers. You know, they were at the airport. You know, they already knew what I look like, so I was waving at them. You know, it was great seeing them. And this is just a lot of this video because we're not really a type of people who show our face on cam. So like, you know, this is that type of industry. But yeah, this was just us walking to grab a Didi, which is basically their terms of taxi, their Uber there. If you ever go to China and you know a taxi driver comes up to you, always say no because the Didi is 50% cheaper. Always from the taxi driver. Taxi drivers, they look for foreigners to like, you know, scam basically.
Anyone from Allchinabuy, and I low-key did not know what to expect. But bro, we linked up with our manager. We're so chill, such good people. And so we're getting out of the airport. We're about to book a taxi, and they don't have Uber there. They have another app called Didi, and they booked the Didi. Dude, the airport was so damn big. It took like probably 10 or 15 minutes just for that guy to find us. That day we got to Shanghai. It was pretty chill. They took us around, showed us all the big.
I think I'm gonna release a video on this on my own because the editor kind of messed up in here. A lot of these images are not even Shanghai. This is Hangzhou. Hangzhou is a amazing city. Um, one of my favorite cities for sure. And let's just continue watching.
Tourist spots, checked out some shopping malls and stuff. Overall, Shanghai.
Now the malls there were amazing. Shanghai, we actually didn't even go to. Went to two Shanghai malls, but Shanghai malls were kind of like you know how Western malls are, but malls in Guangzhou and the malls in like other parts like that we came across Shenzhen, amazing malls. These malls are like huge. Now this place we went to which this person is like, you know, these people are playing games. Let me move this up.
That was my favorite city there, not gonna
Like you
lie.
could see it skipped but editor going wild, but there was one person sweating it while playing that game. This was in Guangzhou. It was the largest. I'm gonna put it on screen maybe for you guys to see where it is. But yeah, first thing we came down there, we're like, what if this shit floods? You know, it's over for these guys. But there's a bunch of small shops, a bunch of anime shops.
But now this is where the story gets a little.
One thing is, anime is so popular that I think I'm gonna make a separate video on this. But all the anime companies you see that make shows have a shop there. You know, went to just a mall and it was just anime stuff. Maybe I'll release a video, you know. I took a bunch of footage, you know. Everything we tried to record. You know, this is the bullet train station. Bullet train stations are amazing. Let me explain.
Wild. So we're currently in Shanghai. We need to go to another city. So we hop on the train and we're going to this other city. It's like an hour away, maybe like an hour 30 minutes.
This is just not any other train. This is a bullet train. These bullet trains are fast as hell. Now this goes from 3 up. This was going like around 280 all the way to the 350 kilometers. Now the fastest one actually goes to 400 kilometers. These are so fast. Like I'll leave a video. Like I'll make a separate video on this too. Like while we are in here, it felt so smooth because like you see the GO station in Toronto, absolute dog shit. You are in that and you feel the road, you know, the seats are uncomfortable. This is so nice. I got business class for this while I was in Shenzhen to Guangzhou. Wow. Best ride of my life, and they offered food in there too, and it was only $30 ticket. China.
Minutes. I don't really remember how long it took, but it didn't feel that long. It felt like 30 minutes if I'm being completely honest.
So by car ride, this place that we went to would be more than 3 hours, but by bullet train, it took like 35 minutes. Now the bullet train system, you have to scan your passport. Your passport is so important in China. Anything you need to do, you need to use your passport. Like your passport is like it's basically like more useful than your bus pass. Now,
Get to our destination and our managers walk us over to a blue BMW. They got a BMW for us and we put our bags in the car and they're like, no, you guys don't get in here. We got another car for you guys. So we follow another Allchinabuy employee that we literally just met like 20 minutes ago to another car. And we're expecting like, oh, it's probably gonna be like a normal car. Bro, a Maybach. They picked us up.
now this was one of the most littest cars ever. Like you couldn't even feel anything on the road. I actually wanted to get, you know, a race car, but now my goal is to get a luxurious car because if you haven't experienced these types of cars, they're actually insane. Like at the back, when you sit, you feel so comfortable. It's like one of the most comfortable seats. So many adjustments. There's a screen in front of you as well. And the suspension on this vehicle is probably the best I've ever felt. It's so quiet as well. I think a lot of electric vehicles in the future are going to get luxurious like this. And, I don't really like Mercedes, but this is my favorite Mercedes vehicle.
from the train station in a Maybach. This was the craziest thing to me, bro. So we're in the Maybach for like 30 minutes. Most comfortable drive of my life, not even gonna lie. And we get to another hotel, check in, blah, blah, blah.
Now, this was the Crown Hotel. Amazing hotel. Probably 10 out of 10. Everything is brand new in here, and breakfast was amazing.
Oh, it's finally time to meet the boss, and we're low-key getting a little nervous, but like at the same time, we're more hyped than nervous. But before we go to meet the boss, the Allchinabuy guys are like, okay, let's go get some lunch, and we're like, all right, let's go get some lunch. They had good food everywhere, and the food prices there were so damn cheap. Like,
I think six of us ate here, and it cost probably only like $50. Like, it's actually insane how cheap everything in that country is if you're American. And this place was, I think, a 8 out of 10. Like, compared to the other food we ate there, like I think the food is amazing. Now a huge thing is like, me and Ken are actually like Muslims, so we can't eat a lot of stuff there. But yeah, if you definitely like, uh look for like shops, that have, the type of meats that you can eat, because there's a lot of meats that we can't eat. So yeah, they have like a lot of, weird stuff that they're eating. Like, I won't knock them on that. They eat like, duck. They eat like frogs and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but and obviously pork they eat a lot as well. But yeah, a lot of these places they accommodate halal stuff. One surprising thing to me was there was a lot of Muslims in China, and I felt that too. We went to a mosque in Shanghai, amazing mosque. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen. I think it was great. Anywhere you go, and if you're a Muslim, you want to connect with the community. That's, I think, for sure, because like it's just like when you meet a Muslim in like a foreign country, you just have a better connection than like meeting a random person. So instead of like people going to clubs, we go to like the mosque, and I think it's much better because you make the connections that are real and you meet real people. So yeah, this place was 10 10. I went on a random tangent there.
you get a whole meal for $5, which is insane. And that's $5 Canadian. That's probably like $2 US, not even gonna lie. So I had this good ass burger, and it's finally time to actually meet the boss for real now. And they take us to the building. And at this point, I don't know how big like Allchinabuy actually is. But once I saw the office building, I was like, God damn, these guys are like legit. Go upstairs, go to the floor, and the first thing we see when we get out of the elevator, bro, just so beautiful. Saw the AC.
This is actually beautiful. When we came out here, we did not even expect them to have an office like this. Thanks to our managers, like we like a couple days before coming to this location, and our managers are actually amazing. Shout out to Rachel and Vita. Some of the best managers, and the office was just 10 out of 10. And let me continue. Let's see what Ken says.
B sign on the back of the wall in the office. We walked in, got greeted by the big boss man himself, and he takes us to this meeting room type area. Got a great view of the city that we're in. I'm not gonna.
One of the views like we seen was actually 10 out of 10. Like I have it on video, but I don't think his editor showed it. His editor a lot of good shots, but yeah, reason we needed an editor for this video was because of blurring the faces. That's definitely a huge thing. But yeah, this is amazing office. 10 out of 10 office. Uh, this was the manager's first time coming to the office. We're the first creators to come to the office. And, after this, Jay went there, Jumiri TV went there. So I'm just blessed to be Allchinabuy's first promoter, to be first in their office. What else is next? Yeah, I guess Allchinabuy.
Gonna leak where it was, and the table that we're sitting at is really cool. Like I've never seen anything like it. There's like a heating element right in the middle.
So you could see the heating element. I'll point with my mouse. Now this basically they would make tea. I don't even know. I've never drank tea before. This was the first time I drank tea, which is insane. The first time I drank tea was from the CEO of Allchinabuy. That is actually insane. I've never drank tea in my life, but if if somebody like the Allchinabuy CEO serves you tea, you drink it. There's no questions asked. There's no. And
I guess it's like a traditional Chinese thing because everywhere we went, like every seller we met with, they all had something similar going on. And okay, I'm not even glazing right now, bro, but the boss made really good tea, and I don't even drink tea like that, not gonna lie. But yeah, now what you've all been waiting for, what did we talk about in that meeting? So we actually got to meet the manager of every single department and got to talk to them about what we think they can do better to make All China Buy a better platform for you guys. So we got to
they listen to us a lot. The new website's about to release. They showed us the website there too. We gave them a lot of feedback. People have been talking about dark mode. I want a dark mode. I was pushing for it. I was like, write it down. Dark mode, dark mode, dark mode. Because, if you're using a laptop, it's mostly in a dark room. Obviously, you want all these apps. I got my iPhone on dark mode. I think most people got their phone on dark mode. So we need a dark mode on for the app and as well as the website. So yeah, we wrote a whole report for all about all the changes we want to see, and we sent that to the boss man. The boss man's really receptive. He really wants change, and he brings change quick, and that's the big thing. All Channel has grown to this length because of the CEO, because of the boss. He wants to make changes. He listens to the community. He listens to the promoters, and definitely Jay. He went there like 2 3 weeks after us, and he definitely told the boss a lot of things. So it's looking great for all Channel because a lot of these guys, after they make money, they just like go away to vacation and stay there and like let the managers run everything. But the boss guy, he wants this to succeed. He wants the best experience for you guys.
talk to the website engineer, and we told him a bunch of stuff about the website that I know a lot of you guys probably hate as well. Like there's no dark mode, the currency option, and the QCs as well. Talk to the warehouse staff about that. And I have a huge document that I made that I sent out to them with just things that they need to fix and things they need to add. But if you have any more things that you want to see in All China Buy, just drop them in the comments, drop them in the Discord, and I can assure you these guys really work hard to make sure that you guys have the best agent to buy from. Together we can make an agent that's probably like 1,000 times better than what Panda Buy was. Now after this meeting we stayed in Hangzhou for another night, but then we had to go to another city, to Guangzhou, for what me and Yves originally came here for.
So there's no footage of that place in this video. I haven't seen it at all, but we went to Guangzhou because of a huge fair. That fair was actually insane. So there. Now, most of China, if you go to it, you see a bunch of Chinese people. But if you come for a fair or anything, there was a bunch of foreigners there, a bunch of Africans were there, a bunch of even Russians were there. I think Russia and China signed like some type of deal. So yeah, I really liked Shanghai the most. Even if you went into Shanghai, there weren't many foreigners. Like anywhere, we went to Disneyland there. I think only 1% of people were foreigners. The only foreigners we saw were like we ran into some Australians, and that's it. I can't even say it. Like I think we seen Australians and some Sri Lankans out of nowhere. So yeah, shout out to Sri Lankans.
There's a trade fair going on, so we dipped, checked that out, and while we were there, we're
Now this is some random market in Guangzhou. It's a bunch of mismatched videos because I'm gonna release one that's gonna be better than this. With actual you know where we went. Because there's so many places we went to, and it might be like a 20 minute long video. But if you could see my 2 hour 7 minute video I made, that was in chronological order. Like you could just go through there. It would take me probably hours to explain that 2 hour 7 minute video because some of these places were stunning.
we're like, okay, we gotta get some gifts for the boss, for our managers. Okay, we did bring gifts for the whole office, but we are like, we gotta get something super special just for the boss and for the managers. So, whole time we were in Guangzhou, we're looking around, picking up gifts and stuff, and this is where things started to get a little dicey, because our flight back was to Shanghai, not to the city that the Allchinabuy office is in.
Now, basically, we were in this location for 4 days, and we had to fly back to Shanghai. And the thing we try to fly we were meeting the boss guy, so we got a bunch of gifts in this city, and we were flying back to the city that the boss is in. But yeah, they wouldn't let us switch our flight. We tried for a while, then they would, but we had to pay like extra 200 for the switch. So So instead, you know what we did? We ordered a DD from Shanghai when we got to Shanghai to the place that they are, which was like a 3 hour long ride. Ken was passed out on that ride, and hopefully there's.
And I'm not gonna lie, this flight being to Shanghai and not to Hangzhou was a complete misplanning by me and Yves. But you know, it's our first time out in China, it's first time traveling internationally in years. Things got a little crazy because of that, but we're just gonna write it off as a learning
This is the fare, you know, the fare was amazing.
experience this time. But what up? We get to Shanghai and we had to take a 3 hour DD. This shit cost us $300.
This actually, you know, videos of Shenzhen.
Bro, from Shanghai to Hangzhou, and we get to the hotel and we're like, okay, bro, we can finally sleep in a hotel. It's like 4 a.m. by this time. We get to the hotel and the police station's closed. And in China,
You know, I actually took the tank on this. It was my idea, you know, because when we went to Shanghai, our thing was, like first we were thinking we're just gonna get Shanghai, but I wanted to see Boss Man so badly that basically what we did, we got to Shanghai, we ordered it was basically a taxi for 3 hours. You know, this guy who was driving us was so jolly, you know, the whole time he was just, I think, talking to his wife or girlfriend, and he was just laughing on the phone while there's a typhoon. I think it rained 100 millimeters in China. You know, it was a typhoon crazy. If the same typhoon would have hit Canada, we would have been shut down for a month. But this typhoon was insane. You know, he was driving in the typhoon like crazy. Ken is just sleeping. Me, I'm like panicking. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know, not only that, in the middle of the ride, you know, I'm gonna make a separate video. I'm gonna name it something like the worst day in China. But yeah, that we don't have much like video content because we were so tired that we were just like I didn't record much. What was I gonna record? Like I was just in the car. But yeah, I did catch one video. So this guy, obviously China has a bunch of electric vehicles. I think probably 80% of the vehicles are electric vehicles now. This guy has an electric vehicle. He's obviously driving us for 3 hours, and you know, suddenly his EV battery's like down, and he's like, "Wow, what can I do?" Like, I think he's panicking. I'm in the back. I'm panicking too because it's raining like crazy. It's like typhoon wind out there. You know, it's like raining. Like you could, and then so this guy just finds it somehow, some way in the middle of nowhere. There's some random charger, and he just charges his car. And yeah, the weirdest thing was there's like some like small station and he just goes inside and yeah, 30 minutes I just wait in the car while the car is charging and the car charges and then we go to a location. Now when we reach the hotel, we couldn't find the hotel because the hotel was hidden behind another building. So then it was raining like crazy. Like it was legit raining since we got to Shanghai to like this location, which was 3 hour wait, and it's insane to me. So we can't find the location at all. I'm like, what the hell? I'm drenched in rain. Ken's drenched in rain. So th- then we go to up to some random security guard and we're like, where is this place? And he just points us in a random direction. I'm like, what the hell? So then we have our suitcases. Mind that we have our suitcases in our hand, all our luggage in our hand. You know, the boss man's gifts in my luggage, and and then we see this guy again, and he's like, "Okay, I'll find it for you." That taxi driver, you know, S tier taxi driver. I've never met a taxi driver with like that guy. That guy was like that's the thing about China is like the customer service. Not one place did I ever get bad customer service or did I get like a bad experience. I was treated like a king in that country and nobody like even the like lowest customer experience there was better than any customer experience I ever had in Canada past 2020. You know, ever since COVID, I feel like there's just the energy in Canada that's not good at all. People don't want to work their jobs. Like, you know, you go to a random restaurant, you probably tip that guy $20. They're like, screw this guy. I'm just gonna say thank you very much. Come again, you know. But over there, you can't even tip at all. Like we try to tip so many different people over there, they did not take it. And I think it's because that's the type of culture they build. It's just like even these people. Like when we first went, this hotel is in Shanghai. We tried our key door didn't open, so that in you know probably in another country they would have like said, oh, system's wrong, we're gonna call the engineer, get this guy himself just gets out of the booth, goes up with us and opens it for us. Like you don't see this type of stuff in the west, and that's why I think a lot of shit is messed up here, you know. Yeah, I don't even know what I was talking about, but yeah, that was the storm, you know. I'm gonna continue the storm story. I just keep going on random tangents. But yeah, so this guy, he takes us to the actual location he found on the map. We were wrong where it was. So we go to that hotel. Now, this is one thing that's bad about it. Even the guy couldn't do anything. If you're even Chinese, you can't do anything about it. So foreigners need to police check at you need to like you police check. So basically what happens is they scan your passport and it sends it to a local police station, and then if it says you get a green on it, which I think everybody gets it. How you get into China if you have a red passport? But yeah, I think this is people who overstay or something that they made this law for. So the police, they get the data for your passport and then they say verified or not verified. So they can't do that until there's like an actual one at their at like until the police station is open. So basically, police station was gonna open at 8 a.m. This one Chinese guy, he's like, we can't do it. It's our policy and everything. We didn't check that online, you know. Even though they had a 24-hour service desk, they couldn't check us in at like 3 a.m. So we were like, screw this, you know. We can't get it from this place. So we refunded the place from the app, which is so nice because in Canada, I once got a hotel. I didn't even go to it, and I never got a refund for that shit. And I called that place, and they're like, "You have to call this some other place, and you have to call this another place." And bro, I was like, "Screw this, man! So much BS." And then here, we funded from the app, and we booked another one. Now this person said that one doesn't have a police check-in. We go to that place, and they're like, "We have a police check-in for foreigners." So we're like, "We're screwed right here." Now their lobby was much better than the other one, so we kind of slept in their lobby until 8 a.m. And then after sleeping there until 8 a.m., Ken woke me up. Ken was awake for most of it, because he slept in the car. So feel bad for Ken. I was in a good mood as well. For sure. Yeah, so like, but then we go to our room, we sleep a couple hours, we take a shower, and we meet boss man.
No, when you're a foreigner, you gotta do a police check-in at every single hotel. So like, nah, bro, we can't let you in right now. But there's another hotel where you can probably try check-in. So we go to that other hotel and we try to check in, and they're like, nah, you can't check in right now. You gotta wait till 8. And I'm like, fuck, bro, this is cooked. And I'm like, what should we do for like the next 6 hours? And she's like, oh, y'all can just sleep in the hotel lobby. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Had to sleep in the hotel lobby, and this was the lowest point that we ever hit in China. Sleeping in that hotel lobby, waiting till 8 a.m. just so we could check in. Finally, bro, 8 a.m. hits, check in, sleep for 3 hours, then order another taxi, go over to the office, and this made it so worth it. Got to meet up with the boss again, and honestly, he's just such a chill guy. So good talking to him about like our ideas, what his ideas are, and just going back and forth. But honestly, I don't regret sleeping in that hotel lobby for like 6 hours.
This is in Guangzhou. This mall was like 8 stories. Amazing mall, 10 out of 10 experience. They had an ice rink in here too. I think I had a rainforest in this mall. Amazing mall.
Meeting the boss again, meeting our managers again, made it so worth it. Went back to Shanghai after that, chilled, did some shopping, got some souvenirs from back
This is in Guangzhou. I'm gonna release a video with like proper clips. The editor did not do their due diligence.
home. And honestly, bro, I'm just so thankful to every single person who watches my videos. And if you watched up to this point, I'm so grateful to you for, sticking around and making this possible. So stay tuned. Bunch of giveaways coming soon.
Yeah, stay tuned. Follow Ken. I think he made an amazing video on this. I don't know how long this video is gonna end up being, but yeah, but I'm gonna release a video on the China trip soon. Subscribe to Ken, subscribe to me. And we're actually gonna go back in 2025. Hopefully we go back with other creators. And thanks for watching, guys.